we're gonna run out of Indians.
Prejudice. Wrote a song about it. Would you like to hear it?
Here we go. Free your tribe! First things first, spritz my face with water. This is just plain water. Just a little, you know, light layer. And then put your lotion on while your face is still damp. If you have dry skin, this is a really nice trick. I also think it's one of the key reasons that I've aged a little more slowly than a lot of other people. The second thing I do, which I always do, is I have a mixture of BB creams and I always use that as primer. For lots and lots of reasons, but so I recently got into it with a fellow tribal member, and she was going around calling people who weren't, you know, full-blooded Indians, Chamooks, which is a really derogatory term to call somebody. I mean, it's like calling a black person the N-word. It's pretty bad. And she was just going off, and I've seen this before, I've heard this before, I've experienced this before, and probably most Native Americans who have lighter skin, you know, because most of us are biracial, to be honest. This is a medicinal sponge. I got it at, I think, Dollar Tree. It's like 3 sponges for $1. It's extremely bouncy. I really have been enjoying this sponge a lot. But yeah, anyway, so for some reason she was pissed off because Indian from a different tribe married an Indian from our tribe, and she moved here and, you know, started learning our customs and our language, and for some reason this was really insulting to the girl who's a member of my tribe. Okay, so the second thing that I'm going to do is, because I'm fair skinned but I have a very neutral complexion, I usually end up having to mix my foundations, and at the moment I've really been liking the Loreal True match. I watch Nima Tang a lot, and she uses this foundation a lot, so it made me interested to try it, and I did try it, and I've really been liking like the finish and everything of it. So what I've been doing is mixing Porcelain W1 with Natural Buff N3 and number 0.5 Fresh Ivory. And I just do like a little mixture of those, and it's been working out really well for me. I really like it. Like, our tribe has a really high standard for who can be a tribal member. You have to be at least 25% of the specific tribe that we are, and you have to have an ancestor on like this treaty from way back in, I think it's 1855. You have to have a direct ancestor on there, and you have to be 25% of this particular tribe. And so all of us are pretty fucking Indian, you know, up here. And, you know, in my opinion, your blood quantum isn't the only thing that makes you a native. You know, it's your contribution to your nation. It's your contribution to the continuity of your tribe. It's working for your tribe. It's learning your language and your traditions, and you know, just being part of the culture and the continuity of your tribe. And, you know, living on the reservation helps because, you know, it's kind of like holding down the fort. So for her to be calling me a Chinook is like, well, first of all, the white part of me is Irish, and they didn't really participate in colonialism. You know, my ancestors came over here because they were starving to death, and that's why. It wasn't to like divide and conquer or anything like that. So it brings up like the bigger issue of, are we a race or are we a culture? In my opinion, we're both. You know, you're your ancestors, and you're also the people who carry on, you know, your traditions and your learning and all of that. Well, we're a really tiny tribe. we're only like 5,000 or 6,000 members altogether, and you know, there's the core group of us who live here, but if it's not our fault that we were all like scattered to the four winds, okay? Like the government did that to us. We don't have any control over it. There's nothing you can do about who your ancestors are, but what you can do something about is whether you contribute to your tribe, you know, whether you contribute to your tribe maintaining its, you know, sovereign ability to, you know, govern itself, to keep the language alive, to keep all your traditions alive. That's what makes you a Native American. You know, it's like, yeah, definitely some of it is your ancestry of, you know, of course, like your descendants from Native Americans and, you know, the indigenous peoples who lived here, but focusing on this whole blood quantum issue, if that's your standard for what makes somebody Native American, first we're already experiencing the problem, and it's only going to get worse. For eyes today, I'm going to use this Covergirl chocolate palette. I own every single one of these Covergirl Trunaked, and the So Saturated ones. Like, these are such good eyeshadows, and they're really fun and easy to work with. I think today I'm going to go in with, I'm not going to prime my eyes today. Eye primer just doesn't freaking work for me. I've tried like 5 different eye primers and my eyes are just too hooded. It's not going to make any difference. Well, I mean, it might make a small difference. Like the e.l.f. one will make my eye makeup last for like 5 hours, maybe, actually probably not even, like 4 hours. So I think what I'm going to do with my eyeshadow to date is I'm going to go into, I'll probably just like use that on the inner corner, and go in with these two here, and then maybe darken it up with this red one, or maybe the glitter or something. If we want to sit here and have the sole focus of what makes you Native American be your blood quantum, then in a very few generations, I mean, we're already experiencing the problem right now, and have been, but it's going to get worse. We're going to run out of Indians. I mean, there's, you know, in my particular tribe, the ones who live up here and who are around me are all my cousins. Like, they're too related to me to be able to, you know, mate with. So, like, my kids are only half the amount of Indian that I am because I was with white people. There's lack of options. Like, there's no options up here. You're related to everybody, and that's a problem that a lot of those tribes have to go through. So we're gonna have to make like a really big decision. Are we a race or are we a culture? Because if all we're gonna focus on is being a race, then like our children's children ain't got no fucking chance. Like, our lands are gonna be taken away and we're not gonna be people anymore. I think what makes you Native is your, like I said, your contribution to the continuity of your tribe, learning the culture, learning from your elders, and just in general, living your life in a good way. Like, we're an Anishinaabe people, and being a total fucking bitch to people who aren't like as high of a blood quantum as you isn't a good way to live, and that's not how we're taught to live up here. Anyway, we're gonna run out of Indians in like 2 or 3 more generations. Will there still be some tribes that are like bigger tribes who have, you know, hundreds of thousands of members or 100,000 members, or, you know, whatever biggest tribe is? Like, in 3 generations, are there still going to be like some pure Indians out there? Yeah, but for our little tribe, nah, probably not. And that's the reality that we're facing as, you know, indigenous people. Like, and sitting here and being racist towards your own people and gatekeeping and, you know, not allowing other Indians to like learn about our traditions and stuff like that. Like, we're not taught to live that way. We're not taught that that's a good way to be. That's something that was forced on us by the government. They're the ones who put out these blood quantum requirements, like in an effort to further eliminate us from the face of the earth, which they've already done a good job doing. And so, you know, if you're one of those natives who is like only focused on blood quantum, then you fell for it. You fell for it. You got played, bitch. You got fucking played. And, you know, the government is going to continue to eliminate us, so we need to make a decision. We need to make a unanimous decision. All tribes do. And, you know, in my opinion, you know, we need to, yeah, keep track of our ancestry, but also realize that we're a culture. We're a set of, you know, beliefs, spiritual beliefs, and all that. I mean, back in the day, you know, if somebody had married into the tribe, and, you know, took on our language and our traditions and, lived and worked in the community, they would be considered a member of our tribe. Like, this federal blood quantum requirement imposed on us by the federal government is, it's not our way. That's not how things would have been. And it's just a way for the government to eliminate us even further as a people. And, you know, like I said, if you fell for it, then bitch, you got fucking played. The government played you, and, you know, you're contributing to the destruction of indigenous nations. And that's the cold hard truth of it. So, you know, in my opinion, what makes you a Native American is, yeah, your ancestry does play a role. Your direct ancestry does play a role in it. I do believe that. Other than adoption, I feel like if you're if you adopt a child, whatever. I feel like if you adopt a child, that child should be a fully recognized member of the tribe, and our tribe, it operates that way. That is how we operate. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go in now with this dark glittery shade right here. It's very pretty. In this palette, it smells great. So I'm just gonna deepen up the outer corner. You're not doing our people any favors. You're not doing indigenous people as a whole any favors by gatekeeping and being racist towards your own people. And, you know, this particular woman was going on about how she's related to, like, Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse and blah 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 blah. So first of all, I've heard that I'm related to every famous Indian ever spiel a million times. And let's say even if it's true, that doesn't say anything about you. I mean, it doesn't say anything about your character or your integrity. It doesn't say anything about you. Because you had the right parents, that makes you, like, better than everybody else? I don't think so. No. No. How about no? How about no to that? There's nothing cute about being racist. There's nothing cute at all about being racist. There's nothing good about it. It's an ugly person to be. It's an ugly thing to do. And to be racist towards your own people when we've already been almost wiped off the planet is the most destructive thing that you can do. Most destructive thing that you can be to indigenous people is racist against your own people. And I really wish that I didn't have to see things like that. It's just so ugly. I mean, it's ugly to be called a chmook, and the crazy thing too is that, like, this fucking bitch was like, yeah, you're a chmook, respectfully. That's like saying you're an N-word, respectfully. You can't call somebody an N-word respectfully. It's fucking impossible. It's a demeaning term in any way that you look at it. It's, are you fucking kidding? I'm gonna use that same, like, maroon shade for my little blush line. I do my makeup kind of backwards. I like to do my mascara first, and then it kind of gives me like, it makes it easier to do liquid eyeliner. Alright, for mascara, I'm going to use this LA Colors Perfect Curve. It was only like $4, so, you know, that's pretty nice. But, yeah, so, I mean, just because you have, you know, more blood quantum than somebody else, that doesn't say anything about your character. It doesn't say anything about who you are as a person. And, you know, that doesn't make you crazy horse or sitting bull. That doesn't mean you've accomplished anything like, you know, wild. And, you know, intertribal racism is a real problem. And, you know, I hope that I see it stop. And that's where every damn time I do my mascara, I like leave a little bloop. Oh, let me fucking fix this shit before I start talking anymore. And I mean, it's one thing to take pride. What the fuck did it just get freezing cold in here? Okay, anyway. It's one thing to take pride in your ancestors. I mean, that's commendable. That's completely commendable. In protecting, you know, our culture and our traditions and making sure they're not being, you know, abused in any sort of way is absolutely commendable. If somebody with good intentions wants to come in and learn our language and, you know, learn about our people and live traditionally, we should be happy about that. We should be happy that our language is being kept alive. Like, who are you to decide who's Indian or not? Like, nobody gets to make that decision. You know, that decision is based on like a combination of like how you live and who you are as a person, and whether you keep, you know, holding the fort down. Racism in any form should be condemned, wholly condemned. So I'm gonna do one last little light layer of foundation, just on, like, you know, areas where I feel like I need it. Like, for us and for our people, like Anishinaabe people, like, what we're taught is, like, being a good person is what is commendable. You know, walking a good path, keeping traditions and all of that alive. That's what makes you an Anishinaabe. Not solely your blood quantum. You know, that's something that was imposed on us by the federal government in order to, you know, rid themselves of the Indian problem. So they could take our lands and have an excuse for why to continue the genocide. And, you know, if you're going to be racist towards your own people and, you know, purity shame people for not having enough blood quantum, then you're contributing to the genocide of your people. For liquid eyeliner, I am going to use, I love this. In all the 30 years that I've been using eyeliner, this has been my favorite so far. L'Oreal Paris Carbon Black Telescopic. It's this one. It's a matte liner. It's really easy to apply. Well, I mean, as far as, you know, liquid liners go anyway. None of them are like that easy to apply, but, and like once your mascara has dried down, I'll show you. See, like, you can kind of rest this on your eyes or eyelashes because you have that mascara there. So it kind of gives you like an anchor. Man, how do YouTubers do this? This is so hard to do. Usually if I'm doing liquid liner, I'm like in the mirror, like, you know, inches away from it. Alright, and then for eyeliner, because I can't find my favorite one for some fucking reason. Yeah, fucking Lord only knows where it is. But anyway, so I am going to use this L'Oreal Infallible Longwear Eye Pencil. I'm gonna tight line and do the lower lash line. You know, and another thing I would like to say is that if you're a real Indian, you don't need to sit here and have a competition about who's the most Indian. You know, and you know, I've heard horror stories. I'm not, by far, I'm not the only one who somebody, you know, in my tribe has been racist against me. I'm 25%. My grandmother was full-blooded. My mother was is half, and I'm a quarter. And that's the fucking way that it goes. There's nothing you can do about it. Man, I need to organize this stuff before I fucking do all this. For brows, I'm going to use Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt. I'm really careful when I do brows, to make sure that well, first of all, I like, you know, scrape off most of the product. And then I'm like really careful to not touch my skin under my eyebrows, because like that gives it away that it's like looks super fucking fake. Like super, super fake. Because, you know, naturally, you know, when people like do their brows and like the product touches like the skin underneath your brow hairs, like your skin under your brow hairs is the same color as the rest of your face. So like making that darker, it doesn't make any sense to me, and it looks terrible. So I do like I'm a brow minimalist. I'll just comb this through and just try to, you know, even them out, which isn't even possible. So the most I can achieve is making them look like, I don't know, 5% better than they were before. And my brows are never going to look like each other, ever. Like, ever. There's nothing I can do about it. Like, my face just isn't symmetrical. I can't do jack shit about it, so all I try to do is make each brow look a little bit better. That's all I can do about that. For concealer, I am going to use, I've been wanting to try this out. I got it, and I just have never used it. It's the Revlon Color Stay Full Coverage Concealer, and this is in 005 Fair. And I'm not looking for like a lot of coverage, but you know, a little wee bit. Like I have scars and age spots down here. I'm trying to cover that up a little bit. Obviously a concealer minimalist as well. I used to not even do this technique, but I watched too many YouTube beauty videos and got sucked into it, and now it has just become part of my process. That's not too bad. I don't know if I really got like that much out of it, but it didn't make my makeup look worse, so you know, that's a bonus. For blush, I think let's just do it easy. Let's just do an easy blush palette today. Maybelline Master Color and Highlight Kit. I don't know. We're just going easy today. Because I still want to have fun doing my makeup, you know? Like, it's a heavy topic. Oops, shit. And I always keep my blush, like, focused way on the outside. But I guess my message to people is that, you know, kindness, compassion, understanding, not judging, and not purity shaming people, like, that's what being an Anishinaabe person is about. It's not about being hateful and exclusive and, you know, protecting your tribe is, you know, one thing, but I'm using, like, the highlighter in this also to just kind of, you know, go over, just do a little wee bit, but, being a mean person is being a mean person. It doesn't matter, like, what culture you're, a part of. I guess I'm using mostly, like, this middle shade here. This purple, I don't know how I would even be able to use that. I'm, like, too fair complected for that. That's, like, for people with really deep skin tones, I think. Like, maybe if I was doing, like, a purple eyeshadow or something, I could, like, get away with it. But, I mean, I am 40. So, I feel like I gotta be a little conservative when it comes to my makeup choices. This is probably going to give somebody anxiety. If anybody ever watches this video, it'll probably give you anxiety because like I'm doing my makeup like not how you in the same order that YouTubers do. Using this Physicians formula just to kind of, you know, go along, like warm my face up a wee tiny bit. Which actually is going to have to be a lot because I just remembered you guys can't fucking see anything unless I do it like, I gotta put it on heavy. But if we're going to talk about such serious topics, then I might as well have fun when I'm doing it and, you know, do some fucking makeup. So, you know, if you're somebody like me and, you know, you were born with fair skin, or you're part black and Native American, or Mexican and Native American, like, don't let people tell you you're not Native. You are. You know if you are or not. You don't have to have somebody tell you that you are for you to be. Damn, it's not showing up as much as I wanted to. So I'm going to use, I did use water to inflate the sponge. It's one of those like microfiber sponges that are supposed to be for dry products. So let's try to do that because this isn't going on as dark as I would like it to. There we go. I do like these. After I like use water to poof them up, you do have to kind of let it dry for a little while, otherwise it's like gonna ruin your product. Not looking too shabby so far, huh? Coming right along. Yeah, I don't think my eyelashes are like as prominent as I would like them to be, so let's do something a little fun. Let's take some green mascara and see if we can get a little more length out of this without like fucking them up too much. Yeah, that it's not working too great. For lips, let's do something moderate. Some plum action here. Milani Color Statement Lip Liner number 12. That's like a purpley kind of thing. And since I'm 40, I don't like to go too crazy on the overlining. I think it can really age you. Almay Goddess Gloss. It's kind of like a, I don't know, burgundy type color-ish a little bit. I really like these glosses. I don't know, I think people who are biracial, people who are biracial, we have to put up with prejudice from both sides. You know, I've had people be racist and, you know, like, oh, drunk Indians this, and then I've had people who are Native in my own tribe be really racist against me and say really racist things. It's fucking terrible. Using being Native as a weapon to hurt people who you don't think are Native enough it's just fucking wrong. For the last thing that I'm going to do is use this Covergirl CG Smoothers. This is translucent fair, and just you know, kind of, oops, not that one. Let's use a fluffy little elf brush here. I'm just making sure it's clean, and then just lightly, a little light dusting. I prefer pressed powder. I think it's, you know, you get a little more coverage with it and it's easier to control. Alright, so that's pretty much that. As, you know, as far as this tutorial goes, this little combo goes, I hope you liked this video, and I'm sorry it had to be such a, you know, down topic, but don't let anybody tell you who you are. You know who you are. And if somebody has a problem with, like, you know, you being biracial, fuck them. They're the ones with the problem, not you. They're the ones who have something wrong with them, not you. You know? Keep on keeping on. And, I hope the next time I make a video, it's not such a somber topic. And, you know, I support you. Biracial power. Represent. Native American. Here. Represent. I'm Bama Pete. I'll see you the next time. Thank you for watching.